I've been running for over 10 years. It's only really in the last 2 years that I think I've got the hang of long runs. I thought I'd share with you 7 tips that have helped me get the hang of running long. Be prepared. Being prepared means if you've done a run the day before, make sure that you recover well from that run. And also just make sure that you've got enough energy for your long run on the day that you choose to do it. So make sure you get a good night's sleep. If it's the weekend, which often it is for a lot of people, try and avoid late night partying and late nights the night before. I have done long runs with a hangover, but it's not fun. Part of being prepared is knowing what you want from your run so that you know where you're going, so that you don't get lost. Especially in the mountains, it can be demoralising at best if you get lost, but at worst it could be really dangerous. Getting everything ready the night before is a really great way to just reduce the obstacles and make sure that you get out on time, especially if you want an early start. And also choose the best time of day when you're planning when you're going to go out. If it's really hot, it might be a good idea to get out really early in the morning before the heat gets up. And also thinking about just what's the best time for you. Some people, even when it's hot, they actually just seem to be better a bit later on after they've had a bit of a relaxing morning. The next point is just to build up gradually. Think about the longest run that you've done recently. And I usually, as a rule of thumb, try to add, some people say 10%, I usually add something like 10 to 15 minutes from the week before. If you bite off more than you can chew, you wind up just needing loads of rest in order to recover, and that's not great either. Having the right gear is also really important when you're going on a long run. And some of the things that I really value are shoes, of course. It's always important to have decent shoes, correct for the terrain. These are trail shoes. They've got some lugs at the bottom. Not very aggressive lugs. You can get more aggressive lugs than this for wetter, muddier terrain, but it's dry around here, so this is sufficient for what we need. And of course, if you're running on the road, you might want a specialised road shoe instead. I really like this running vest because it's really comfortable to wear. You can put water in it if you need to, and there's a zip pocket at the back, so you can stuff an extra layer in, like this waterproof that I've got today, which I'm actually really glad at, because although it's sunny, it's actually quite cool up here. A key part to your long run is pacing it well. There's no good setting off really fast because you won't be able to maintain that for very long. I usually like to think about it as conversational pace, so it's a pace that you can hold a conversation at, chat and run, basically. If you're breathing really hard and you're struggling to speak in sentences, you're probably going too fast. And with that in mind, especially in the mountains when you might be climbing up some really steep sections, don't be afraid to walk, even if you think that you could run it. If you go too hard up a hill because you think that you've got to run up it, you'll find that you're what I like to call burning a match, but basically going too fast, and you're going to run out of energy sooner than if you just walk and keep to a nice, steady, easy conversational pace. One of the trickiest things that I found was getting food and drink right. If you're running for more than 90 minutes, you're going to need to take in some calories and you're going to need to take some water. So that's why bags like this are quite useful, because you can put things in them. And I try to eat something, usually 200 to 300 calories, but a bar or something every half hour. So little and often seems to work. And you just got to keep trying and try with different things and find what works for you. So I find a mixture of salty stuff and sweet stuff works for me. That's quite salty. Got something in here that's quite sweet. And if it's really hot, you might want to check out our other video about how to manage and train in the heat. Another really important point is to mix it up. You can't just keep doing your long run every weekend and extending and extending and extending. You'll get tired. So have weeks where you do a shorter run, or even mix it up and go for a bike ride instead to give your legs a bit of a rest. Most importantly, have fun. Make it fun. You can do that by making it an adventure and going somewhere else for a run, and making it social, going out with friends. I usually put in notes to athletes, things like have fun, stop, take photos, make it a bit of an adventure.